You want me to bring us in?
Yeah, well, you can do it. Fire it away, Luke.
All right. Well, like now?
You want? I can do it if you want.
I got it. All right. Welcome to the Thunderbutts Comedy Podcast, a brand new podcast where every season we talk about a new topic. This is season 1, in which the topic is canceled television shows.
Exactly. Canceled after 1, 2, potentially 3 seasons.
A couple seasons, gone too soon, stuff like that. Here we are, episode 1, where we are talking about the Netflix show Kaos.
Mm-hmm.
Spelled
Jeff
with a K.
Goldblum.
Yep. Jeff Goldblum has a star-studded cast. Lots of cool people. Do you know any of them off the top of your head?
No.
You said you were going to dome it. Oh, my God.
They're all, let's put it this way. It's easy. It's appropriate to say that a bunch of the cast is pretty young. A lot of the cast is, I would say, under the age of 35.
Ooh.
Right? And they've all been in stuff you've seen before. So it's one of those it's one of those shows where you're like, "Oh, I've seen that guy before," or "I've seen that girl before," or "Isn't she in so and so?"
Right. There's a lot of recognizable faces. There's a lot of like the whole cast is great actors. I wouldn't say they're all under 35 because we got Janet McTeer and Cliff Curtis. That's his name. Who played Poseidon. The main gods are some heavy hitters.
Cliff Curtis
for sure.
has been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, some heavy hitters definitely. I mean, we got Eddie Izzard. We got David Thewlis. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. Debbie Mazar. You know who that is?
She was Hera, or no?
No, she played what's her face?
The main
Medusa.
Oh, Medusa. Yeah.
Yes.
She's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Empire Records, all sorts of stuff.
Entourage.
Yeah, she was an Entourage.
She was the PR lady in Entourage.
Absolutely.
I feel like there's a bit of that character in her Medusa character, like the I'm too tired to deal with, or I'm too stressed to deal with this.
Kinda, yeah, because she plays like an office lady. Medusa.
Yeah, Medusa plays an office cog.
Medusa is an office lady
in Hades.
In Hades, yep, in the underworld. But yeah, honestly, so.
Well, hold on. Should we talk about, like, one, the show was rated really, really well.
Okay.
It got a high Rotten Tomatoes score.
Okay.
Like tomato score.
I believe
and
it.
Audience score.
Sure, yeah.
I want to say they were both like above 80. You know, had a high IMDb rating, and then we should probably talk about the premise of the show.
Yeah.
It's not simple.
Hit him with the premise of the show.
Okay,
hit me with it. Don't hit anyone else but me with the premise of the show. Real quick.
Great studio we're in.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going. Before we get it, we're in a new space, a new studio. Some upgrades.
Yeah, brought to you by USA Home Loan.
Still no sponsors. So
shout out USAA. You're a part of this.
I feel like there's so many young podcasts where they like do fake promos. And we don't have any real promos yet. But yeah, so anyway, we're in a new space, new name, new all that. And this is what we're doing. Cancel television shows for a handful of episodes, starting with Kaos. You want to tell me what Kaos is about?
Yeah,
give me
sure.
the synopsis.
So briefly, essentially, it is a modern day play off of a bunch of Greek. I guess parables would be the way to say that, like a bunch of Greek stories,
sure,
kind of all smashed into one
from mythology,
from Greek mythology. It's all kind of smashed into one larger, like, Greek tragedy, right? Because that's what the stories were known for, were being tragedies.
That's what's happening, yeah.
And then it's played out in present day, and the setting, even though they say it's Crete in the show,
right?
It's
It's L.A.
Yeah, it's Los Angeles.
Yeah, so it's played out in the present day as if like the whole world is Greece and everyone still worships the Greek gods.
Exactly.
To the point where L.A. is still L.A. It's just called Crete, and like everyone's speaking English and stuff like that. But like kids are playing with fucking,
tridents
and shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, literally.
Like they go to like a pharmacy and there's like trident, like toy, like they're like tridents are now on sale.
Yeah,
and,
that was in episode 1.
Yeah, and the whole thing is like there's all these like the world building. There's all these little things. Like one guy goes to get a pack of smokes, and I forgot what the smokes were called, but he was like, "Can I get 20 whatevers?" And like you Google what it was, and it's like, oh, that's the god of like wind and fire or some shit like that. So. It's the world building is all based on Greek mythology and stuff like that, and it is a collection of Greek mythology parables, all like inspired and reimagined into one great modern day Greek mythology tragedy. For
exactly.
Sure. Jeff Goldblum plays Zeus, and it's just a really fun. Essentially, it's the gods that you see are Zeus.
Almighty God.
Zeus the Almighty. Dionysus, Poseidon, and Hera.
Who's Dionysus?
Dionysus is the god of like, what is it? Partying
and fun, man.
Partying and fun.
I think
it's like three things, like wine drinking, and
they just called it gallivanting back then.
Yeah, he's the cool god, right? And then there's Hera and Poseidon, god of the sea.
Well, you got Hades too, god of the underworld.
Oh, and Hades and Persephone for sure.
Persephone, who's technically not a god.
She is immortal, but not a god. Yeah. So Dionysus is the god of wine, festivity, and ecstasy.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. Not the drug, just the
being euphoric and yeah.
Although he certainly takes some ecstasy during
the
show.
So Dionysus is played by like a younger guy who I mean, and there's like a lot of loose shit with some of the things. Okay. Another thing about this world that they built is that I will say this. From the first episode, like partway through, 3/4 of the way through, like it definitely departs from Greek mythology, where you're like, okay, this is like, a fictional, like inspired by a thing, right? Like it's and one big thing about this world is that every human is born with their own prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like a big part of like this tragedy.
It's like a goddamn, like a fortune cookie style sort of poem in a way, or if you even want to call it a riddle,
right?
To a degree, because you get like this prophecy that's given to you. It's your prophecy. It's your prophecy alone.
Yeah, and no one else has the same prophecy.
Yeah, and then everyone in the show is essentially beholden to their own personal, 10-word prophecy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's like also, it's not straightforward like, oh, Luke, you're going to grow up and play baseball.
Yeah, I bet that they range and all that, and some people I bet in the world are like, fuck my prophecy. You see like billboards for like, don't understand your prophecy? Call 1-800.
Yeah. There's an entertaining element of capitalism like injected into this.
Yeah.
This sort of mess.
Yeah.
And everything is, I mean, when you look at the society like as a whole, you're like, oh man, this is kind of a very, like a fascist looking, kind of society where you have, this one big leader, right, of, Crete or what have you.
Who is a king,
who's a king, right? And then everybody, does the whole, they tap their forehead, say praise Vero or Vero.
Yes.
And it's, they'll do that stuff before events. I mean, it looks
as like a sign of respect, all that, like,
yeah, it looks very like militaristic, dictator-y kind of.
Well, in a way. So Crete is ran by a royal family, a king that was appointed by the gods. Mm-hmm. So and
Minos.
King Midas. Minos.
Minos? Yeah, Minos.
Oh, yeah, King Minos, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And the city of Crete is protected by Poseidon. Like Poseidon runs that city type deal. So yeah, that's where we are with like the basic world building. And you see Zeus in Olympus, like, and it's Jeff Goldblum, so he's super like, oh yeah, want to tell you, it's dope, because he's just like wearing like tracksuits and shit, just like and
he's got like the gaudy, just like those old like Elvis kind of sunglasses, right? I mean, he looks like, like Zeus's kingdom, which is supposed to be like Mount Olympus, right? You know, back in Greek mythology. It just looks like a fancy estate in Beverly Hills.
Right.
Is I think kind of what they were
maybe
going for.
Yeah.
And then kind of a constant in the show, which I suppose we could spoil if we want. But, there's a constant in the show where they show this.
Spoiler alert. Should we get into spoilers yet?
We don't need to get into spoilers just yet.
No on spoilers. We will not spoil just yet. But the show has been out for like a year, and it got fucking canceled like on release. So
yeah. And the reason
you're about to get spoilers, we will preface it the moment we start spoiling.
I mean, look, a lot of the spoilers you could, if you paid attention in, in like class way back
true,
when.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
There's a lot of, you see some of these characters and they are based on the real like individual tragedies within Greek mythology. So if you did your homework, or read the Iliad, right?
Sure, yeah.
Then, or at least paid attention in class, then you kind of can know where some of this goes. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, even if we don't give like particular spoilers, it's a Greek, like the Greek, literature, their form of fables was all based on, what we would call a modern day twist, but they just, which is all goes back to the Greek tragedy.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like the main storyline where it's like a departure from that, but, yeah, for the most part, if you know like the story of this certain person from mythology, like that kind of happens just with a modern day twist. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. Another thing, it's narrated by Prometheus, who is the Titan that is hanging from the fucking mountain, and he gets his liver eaten out by an eagle, I think it is, and because
that's his punishment.
As his punishment for gifting humans the gift of fire, Zeus has him shackled to a mountain, in which eagle will eat his liver, and
then the liver will grow.
Liver will grow back every night because he's immortal. So like for millennia he has been hanging from this mountain, and every now and then Zeus will be like, and like Prometheus will appear and he'll be like, "Hey buddy, how's it going?" And just like, and here's the thing, the big,
which is said too, like Prometheus is considered Zeus's only true friend.
Yeah, according to Zeus, right?
And he talks to him during the show, and he like reminds him like, "You're my only real friend." And Prometheus is obviously like, "Thanks, man. Can you not have me continuing to hang off said mountain?"
And then
get
he's
my
like,
liver picked out.
And then he goes right back. Yeah. So Prometheus is the narrator of the show, because essentially what happened is millennia ago, Prometheus set this plan in motion. Well, he's part of this plan in motion to overthrow Zeus in Mount Olympia, and like that finally is coming to fruition like during the times of the show, right? I mean, there's also, the cool thing is there's also the Fates and the Furies who play a role in everything too. So yeah, here's the thing. This show,
it's a big show.
This show was so dope. Like I thought it was so cool.
It's a big show. It's very complex for sure. You were the one who first told me about the show when we were like, what shows should we maybe try to focus on when we do this, kind of new little series? And I had heard of it, but I'd never, outside of just kind of hearing about it, I'd never done any type of like, that was it, you know, kind of thing. And I am not Greek and only kind of mildly familiar with Greek mythology.
Sure.
But you were like, no, this show is super rad, and we should do it.
Yeah, so I am Greek, so and I was like, Jeff Goldblum's playing Zeus. That sounds interesting. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. When I first found it, I think I marathoned the whole thing in one day.
That is that's impressive in and of itself.
I was just chilling, but
dude, because I had to say, like, after I would have to, because I wanted to watch this show. I had about 2 weeks to watch this show, more or less.
Yeah,
and there's 8 episodes.
I believe there's 8 episodes.
Yeah, there's 8. So I was like, oh man, I could probably bang this out in a couple of days, right? Incorrect. Not possible for Neilio. I had to break it up. The most I could do whilst absorbing it would be like I'd be able to do like 2 episodes. And that was also because I would stop. I would hear something in the show. Yeah. You know, like they dropped a Icarus reference at one point. You know, and I was just like, oh.
It's a pause and Google type of show.
Yeah, it is very much so. Like,
it's a pause and Google show, and it's definitely like a captivating show where you're like, you don't want to do anything else but watch this show.
No, it's a show where you want to be like, even I would like eat dinner while watching it, and I would be like taking a couple bites, and I'd be like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, rewind,
right,
like, back up, like I you know, because everything. You know, they say like filmmaking and stuff like that. As a filmmaker, you know, you understand that, you know, everything in filmmaking is supposed to be intentional.
Sure.
Right? You know, you can play a little loose with that like rule here and there, but like this is definitely one of those shows where like every line of dialogue, every shot is very much so intentional. Yeah,
it seems that way. My thing was like, okay, here's the thing. The show lasted 8 episodes. 8 pretty awesome episodes.
Yeah, hour-long ones, too.
Hour-long episodes. Yeah. And the show came out, and, like, right afterwards, it was announced that Netflix wasn't going to pick it up. Also, this is and this is, like, a Netflix thing. I feel like Fox, like, when I was growing up, Fox did this, where they'd throw, like, millions of dollars at this brand new show and then cancel it right away.
This was not a cheap show.
This was not a cheap show. It was very high budget. But like Netflix sort of has this reputation, and it's the same reputation that Fox had back in the day, where like they'd be popping up with these new shows and they'd get canceled after one season and stuff like that. But the speed in which Chaos was canceled was quick, because like it just came out when I watched it, and I went to Google it. And it was like already like canceled for season 2. I was like, what the fuck?
That like makes it, you know, you look into like why it was canceled, and it said like, oh, it was like too expensive. And at this point, when Netflix is like, oh, this is too expensive, I mean, well, that's kind of a big eye roll where I'm like,
I don't know if that's really the reason. I think that it's all been speculation on why it got canceled. Here's my thing. Here's my point, is that like Netflix has this like reputation right now of doing that, but I think when shows, and I'm drawing the parallel to Fox because people used to do this all the time too, like when a show got canceled or gets canceled, people just like to blame the entity that is running the show, and I personally, I'm like, I was a little upset when the show ended because they were building up to like this plot point the whole time, and we finally got to it, and season 1 ended. It's like, why did you just leave us like hanging like that just so like we could watch the second season? Like, finish the fucking story. You know what I mean? Like, to me, like, you were chasing the dragon for fucking 8 hours. You were chasing the dragon.
Probably
and we
more.
Never got there. Like, we finally just got like a little taste of what was happening. Like, oh shit, chaos may be coming. Credits. Canceled. You know, I wouldn't put that totally on Netflix. I would put part of that on the writers for sure. It's like, dude, write a fucking ending to your show.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely. I mean, should we talk about kind of like where the show ended in terms of like the?
Are we about to spoiler alert?
I mean, it's not really a spoiler.
Spoiler alert. We're going to stop speaking. We're going to stop dancing around plot points. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, so like historically speaking, the big adversary of the Greeks way back in, classical Greece was the Trojans.
Oh yeah, the Trojans are in this show too, and the Trojan thing happened like the Trojan horse thing seemingly happened recently.
It happened.
Maybe not recently, but they're like outcasts.
Yeah,
the Trojans.
It happened recent enough where they're ultimately, if you were clearly like super cool in grade school and in high school and didn't care about school and learning, like pretty much like in Greek mythology or just in historical Greece, you had the Trojan Empire, right? And and the Greeks ultimately, they had this big city, Troy, which which they was behind these impenetrable city walls. And that's when you had the Trojan horse, which was the way that Greeks were able to send this, what was deemed to be as a gift. It was this big horse, but then what wound up happening is it was a trap. Like all these Greeks, the Trojans celebrated and they were like, yeah, the war's over. But then all these Greek warriors came out of the Trojan horse and then they sacked the city and the Trojan Empire falls. So in the show, the Trojans there are characters that are Trojans, right? But they're treated as essentially second-class citizens.
Yeah.
It's like there's been enough time in the show's timeline where there is some type of truth and reconciliation, call it, like with the Trojan people.
Yeah.
But
like the government apologized or some shit. Like, like there's like some, like they've been like pushed to like Project Housing type shit.
Yeah. Right? They're like they're the outcasts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the underlying, this sort of, you don't kind of get to it until a little later on in the show, but it slowly builds where there's like the point of apart from the gods piece, right? Like a point of the chaos is for ultimately the Trojans to essentially like mount a rebellion against like Greek rule.
Is that what you got from Chaos?
Well, like towards the end.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. I guess I didn't realize I was playing as big a role. I think like most of it is that Zeus would be dethroned from Mount Olympus.
That was the
family
big,
falls.
Yeah, that was the big part of the gods piece, right?
Yeah.
Because the cat comes out of the hat with like, oh wait a minute, because the whole point in like in the Greeks and their worship of the gods was that they, wanted to live a life so that they can then be ultimately, when they die, they get, if they've pleased the gods, they get reincarnated in a better life.
Sure.
Right? Whether maybe it's more wealth or power or whatever. And then if you're a real butthole to the gods, you get put in this, like if you don't have anybody to stick the coin, in your mouth to get you across the river Styx, like you get stuck in this sort of limbo period for 200 years before you have a chance at essentially.
So that's what happens in the
again.
show is they show the underworld, and like visually it's really cool too because it's in like fucking black and white. When you die, you go to the underworld, and
if you're a bad boy.
You ferry across, and then like you go through I forget what they call it. It's
the
like
frame.
You go through. Yeah. You wade through the river Styx, and you go through the frame, in which you'll be brought. You'll be.
That's
call
if
it
you're
something.
A good boy.
Yes, they call. Yes, if you're a good boy. That's if they. But they call it something reclamation or
something, not rebirth or
yeah, they call it something.
It's essentially reincarnation.
It's reincarnation, and I don't remember if the ancient Greeks believed in that or not. But
yeah, they did. They just called it a different word.
But so if you would go through the frame,
you wouldn't be reincarnated as like a bird. You would be reincarnated as another human.
Right.
But you would have, because you pleased the gods, you had a better life.
Right. So, I mean, okay, bad boys got coins too. So
that's true.
Which is why I was moving past the bad boy for a second. So you go through the frame and you come back, you get reincarnated essentially. But if you didn't enter the underworld with the coin, and you've seen that throughout I mean, you know, it's the eyes a lot of times. But yeah, there's a coin that you put in your mouth. So if you weren't buried with a coin, then you're stuck in the underworld for 200 years, working for 200 years, and then you can pass through the frame. So there is a character that is part of like Prometheus's big plan that was buried without their coin, and that's
those were the Amazonians actually that they had in there. He was an Amazon.
Oh, I was talking about the other one, but yeah, he was an Amazon too. Yeah, I forget his name, but Riddy was the other one.
Yeah, Riddy's the main.
Eurydice, I think. And then I forget his name.
Orpheus?
No, Orpheus. Yeah, Orpheus was Eurydice's husband who took her coin because he loved her so much or some bullshit. Which actually, Orpheus and Eurydice is from mythology. Orpheus was a great musician, and Eurydice, I think she got like bit by a snake or something. Like she died, and he was like super fucking sad and played music that made the gods weep in order to bring her back. And they were like, fine. They were like, fine, you could go to the underworld and get your woman back. And like he pled with Hades or something like that to bring Riddy back. And he was like, fine, you can leave, but Riddy has to follow you. And as long as if you turn around, she will vanish. But you have to just trust that she'll be behind you the whole way. And apparently he got to like the last couple steps the whole time he was walking, and he was about to leave the underworld, and he got like really nervous and paranoid, and like turned around, and she disappeared like right at the end. And that's the tragedy of Orpheus and Eurydice.
That's
the real.
Yeah, that's
this is the real myth, right? Yeah. So they took that and like modernized that and like enveloped it into this modern day tragedy,
which in my opinion was, I mean, let's be honest, like Greek mythology is not easy to digest.
It's not easy to modernize either. You've seen it a lot, and you still end up with like weird ancient shit, right?
Well, there was what was that movie called? It was about Ophelia, I believe.
Which movie?
Oh.
It's called O?
It's called O.
I don't think I've seen
O.
And
they try to like modernize, or maybe that might have been a Shakespearean thing. Either way, also difficult to modernize. Yeah. Also difficult to modernize.
Yeah, because everybody tries to leave like remnants of like like Shakespeare like created like coined phrases and shit like that, and people, you know, it's like when they modernized Romeo and Juliet, and like they were like, well, let's just have them talk like, you know, like use the exact same, which was a cool thing to do.
I mean,
but that's
when you got young Leo and Claire Danes. Just
I mean, John Leguizamo. It's the only way you pull that shit off.
Just looking beautiful. I still remember the guns that they had in that movie.
The swords? You mean the 9mm swords? Yeah. Yes. All right. I think we need to take a break, and because we have no sponsors, that break will just be a couple seconds. So please enjoy this couple seconds of nothingness.
Please enjoy the graphic,
and we'll be right back.
You'll see. And sponsor us.
Yeah, we'll put you in the blackness.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.
We're back after that. Hope you enjoyed the graphics.
Yeah.
Back after a break.
Yeah. Maybe you're seeing this in the year 2028, in which we have retroactively added sponsors in that gap that you just saw.
Looking at you, USAA Home Loans.
Okay. So yeah, we were discussing the TV show Kaos, and it was canceled essentially as soon as it released. You know, there's all sorts of speculations online on why it got canceled. A lot of people were upset because it's a great show, like it's an awesome show. And here's the thing: is I thoroughly enjoyed it as a Greek person, and just a person who enjoys mythology and stuff like that, or just good television.
If you like a good drama, you'll like this show, even if you're not into the Greek mythology aspect.
Exactly. It's a good drama. It's a good show. It's a good fucking show. It's funny. It's great. And it's like I said, as soon as I got done watching it, I looked it up and it was canceled. And for that reason, I just couldn't recommend it to anybody. Like, it wasn't even worth it to be like, watch it. You know what I mean? So that was the reason when we started this podcast. I was like, hell yeah! Now I have a reason for Neil to watch it and we could talk about
it. You have a reason to live, perhaps. Praise Vero.
I don't think they say praise Vera. I think they just say Vera.
Vero? It's Vero.
I think they just say Vero. I don't think they say praise Vero.
All right, man. You're getting
Maybe they do.
You're getting pretty close to blaspheming the gods right now.
I think Vero means like I think it means something. Yeah, anyway. So the show was canceled. And I mean, like I was saying earlier, it's like there's many reasons why a show gets canceled. And a lot of times people have this knee-jerk reaction to hate on like the entity that put the show on. And I think you just see this trend of shows that just don't like to fucking end. I remember I watched some video of Timothy Oliphant like talking about all his projects. It was like a GQ or Vanity Fair thing or something like that, you know, on YouTube, how they have those things. And he was talking about Santa Clarita Diet. You know that show?
Yeah, the zombie.
Yeah. So that guy, and he was like, he was talking about how like the creators of the show were told like that they only get one season left, and they're like, well, we'll just end the show on a cliffhanger. That way you gotta pick us up. And Netflix was like, nope, you can just end on a cliffhanger. Like, you know, like, because they tried to be like, well, fuck you. And Netflix was like, no, fuck you. You know, so I see shit like that all the time where it's like the season will end and I'll be like, especially when it's a new show. If a season ends like in the middle of some shit, I'm usually like, fuck that, because it more times than not, the show does not continue.
So you think maybe some of the behind the scenes talk was like Netflix maybe told them like, you got one season.
Oh no, I have no idea if that's what happened here. I'm just saying like, I'm just saying that they chased this specific, like the story was supposed to like come to like this certain point, and it got like right before that point. Like let's the whole thing with like Chaos coming, Zeus's prophecy, all that shit.
Yeah, because Zeus has his own prophecy.
Yeah. So I mean, and the whole thing with that, like Prometheus and the Fates and all that shit, like it all started happening. Chaos was coming. They couldn't figure like dude figured out how to like put souls back into bodies in the underworld. All this shit started happening, and then it was just like credits, you know. And you're kind of just like, well, what the fuck? All that does is just make me want to watch season 2, which is what I did. I went to my phone, like, when is it happening? And it was like, it's never happening.
Yeah,
you know. So again, I wouldn't put that fully on Netflix at all.
Yeah, I mean, you're right in that like the easy scapegoat's always going to be the network, right?
Right.
You know, like, you network suits, you did this, you know, you old hags behind the scene. Hire us, by the way, old hags. We appreciate you. But like, yeah, that is the that is like the easy sort of target to blame. And I mean, as you know, now that you and I have both made a show,
sure,
you know, there's a lot of moving, even in the production that we did, coming soon, by the way. We'll talk about it at a later date. But like, even on a smaller production that we did, which, you know, still had about 24 people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving pieces, you know, and this, you know, you're talking about, gosh, dozens upon dozens of folks, and Lord knows, you know, the number of, or excuse me, Zeus knows the number of, of like crew behind all of this.
Yeah, the amount of jobs that the show creates, right? Yeah, I mean, tons, right?
It's over 100.
Yeah,
easy.
over 100 people are employed on this show,
easily.
Right? So yeah, I mean, it's in. Yeah, there's 100 jobs on the line. At least 100 jobs on the line for the show to continue.
So any number of those people could have, you know, been problematic to kind of tank the show as well.
I mean, yeah, you just don't know, and like all we can do is speculate. My big thing always falls back to like writing. Like when I write a story, it typically has a fucking ending. I think it's just we've gotten to this point in like television shows where we just drag the shit on. I mean, it happens in movies too. I mean, you know, like there was a Marvel movie. You know, it was like the second in in the series of that specific Marvel thing, and it ended like in the middle of a scene talking about wait for part 3, and part 3 has been delayed twice. You know what I mean? So just end a fucking story. Like, you know, like just show me the end, and don't put the end after the credits either. Just show me the fucking end. You know, like I don't know. And I enjoy being dragged along too and being along for the ride. So like I'm not totally against it. I've seen it so many times with TV shows where the last episode was just like leaves you with more questions, you know, to like unresolved. It leaves you with more questions because like the questions you've had the whole series have not been answered, right? Like I get like wrapping up most things. I get like wrapping up a lot of stuff and just dangling, you know, a carrot or two, or even like wrapping up something and then introducing a new problem. That can get tired too. I get that there's different ways to do it, right? And I don't think, again, it's a total speculation on, I don't think it's the writing that got the show canceled either. You just see it a lot in television, is all I'm saying. So,
how many seasons do you think this could have gone?
I mean, I could see it going 3 or 4, maybe plus.
See, that's where I disagree with you.
So, okay,
I think that's one. I think it could have been one more good girthy boulder rolling season.
Yeah,
but then, you know, kind of like Narcos, you know, that like had, you know, the main storyline of Narcos, I believe had like 2 seasons, and then they were like, okay, Pablo Escobar, he dies now.
So it was like, I never saw Narcos, but it was like,
oh my God.
So
for how much you love cocaine, Luke.
Not a sponsor. So season, I think it's episode 1 or 2. Zeus.
Shout out, Cali Cartel. We're taking sponsorships here.
I think it's episode 1 or 2. Zeus is like calling all his children, like you know, like Athena, Hermes, all, like he calls all the gods and like gets all their voicemails, you know. So like they could have came in the second season. You know, like Olympus was beginning to fall, so like, you know, Zeus could have, you know, pulled out that fucking god dick and started swinging it around. The fates were definitely at play.
They
Prometheus.
did started showing the whole, you know, because Zeus's brother Poseidon, which by the way, I thought they showed him super hilarious in the show because he's just like hanging out on a yacht the entire time as the god of the sea. Yeah, right. But like, you know, Zeus's wife Hera, you know, has this affair.
And sister.
Yeah, and sister has this affair with Poseidon, and they did start to kind of show that, you know, which is based off of, you know, some elements of Greek mythology, and they did start to kind of play that out, but that was one of the other things that ended in a cliffhanger as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that could have been, we'd see what was going on with the gods in this fight against who, like Prometheus. Maybe there was more titans that would pop up. I think most of them are dead though. And then like the whole Trojan thing, Orpheus and Eurydice, you know, like there's a bunch of shit going on in the underworld with reclamation and all that shit, or whatever that word is. Yeah, so I feel like we could have gotten 2 more seasons, maybe just 1, but I feel like they could have stretched it to 3 seasons total.
I think that's where they would have had to eventually cut it off.
Sure. Yeah, it definitely seemed like this grand like story that was getting broken up into seasons, right? Yeah. Kind of like Mr. Robot was like. Mr. Robot was what I heard was Mr. Robot was initially like a movie. Then he got like a TV deal and like figured out a way to be like, all right, this show is going to be 4 seasons. Like it, you know, there was never a question about going more than that.
Look, I think that's a smart, you know, I guess in the overarching theme of the canceled series, I think it's a smart idea to have a have a full blown, you know, obviously easier said than done in a writer's room, right? But to have like hey, you know, this needs to start and then finish after, say, 3 seasons or 4 seasons, because, you know, how many shows stretch on, you know, to like season 6, season 7, and you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, you're kind of like, what is going on?
Yeah, this used to be my favorite watch, and now it's just
Well, I mean, yeah, this was like a massive world that they created. It's kind of like
this
like,
is a complex, huge world.
Well, yeah, I mean, what you said reminded me of something like Weeds, right? The premise of Weeds was that it was this woman living in like suburbia, a widow living in suburbia, raising kids and selling weed. And, you know, a few seasons in, she moves out of the like suburbia area. And, you know, I really like Weeds. I think it went for 7 seasons. But then, you know, you get to a point where you're like, what's going on? Like, this show is so different now. You know what I mean? And I think they did a good job at adapting it. But there's certain shows where, like, the whole premise is this thing needs to stay this way, you know? Like, this person is in jail, and it's about this person in jail. So then, like, you know, you get to, like, season 7 or 8, and you're like, well, why are they still in fucking jail? They had, like, a 3-year sentence. You know what I mean? Community, like, it's about people in a community college, you know. After so many seasons, it's like, why are they still in community college? You know, like, what are they training to be? Or how stupid are they, you know? Like, you know, so and that's kind of my point, is like, a lot of these shows don't, like, they're in it for the long run, but they don't have long-term plans, you know. They never. So a lot of shows, when they get to like later seasons, they just don't know how to end them, because they're like, we just never thought that we'd get ended.
Yeah,
you know?
there's some element too of like, I'm pretty sure folks are like, well, I want to keep this paycheck.
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand that for sure.
Especially because you're going to be getting incremental increases.
Yeah.
Like
within
within the Writers Guild.
Yeah. Like, why would Ellen Pompeo ever stop doing Grey's Anatomy? Like,
yeah. You know, I mean, like,
set for Liz.
Yeah, I mean, the actors are obviously like,
and then the actors start directing, producing, things like that.
And they're
too.
getting paid more, like, you know, per episode. So shows are definitely incentivized to keep going rather than stop. You know, unfortunately, as you've talked about, or as we've seen time and time again, you sacrifice the art there when you know, because how many shows out there are you like, oh, I love that show, but man, do I refuse to watch the last season.
Right. Oh, yeah. So many shows are like so many people say that about shows.
Yeah,
right?
like, oh, that's my favorite show minus the last season.
Right.
I love Scrubs. Fuck season 8.
Yeah, I think it's 9. It might be 8.
Or whatever the last one is.
Plenty of people like to just pretend the last season of Scrubs didn't happen, including, I'm pretty sure, like, people that were like heavily involved in that show pretend that the last season didn't happen, right? But yeah, one thing I liked about Chaos, just to circle back to Chaos, we touched on it, is Jeff Goldblum's Zeus, how he was just like walking around in like tracksuits and like gold shades and stuff, and like he had like velour like robes.
Zeus was definitely, Jeff Goldblum was decked out in the fanciest like athleisure. Like he is what every Romanian and suburban teenager aspired to be when they grow up.
Well, it's like, and then I forget the actor's name, the guy who played Stannis Baratheon. He was Prometheus, and he was just like wearing like a swimsuit.
Yeah.
Like
well, he was wearing like the toga underwear.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Like the white kind of cloth around himself.
He was wearing that pretty much the entire season. I think Zeus made him put on a robe like once.
Yeah. He was like, will you cover up, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, he told him to cover up his like wound, and
because he's like bleeding
was like,
and shit.
You did this.
Yeah. Like, or you could let me out. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like if I was an almighty god, I'd be rocking some shit like Zeus. How about you?
I mean, look, I think one of the themes in the show is like, it shows gods and humans, right?
Right.
Those are kind of the two main characters. But it ultimately shows that, like, none of the gods are happy, like none of them. They're all, like, even in classical mythology, like the gods, like what makes them happy is when they get to fuck with humans or fuck humans.
Yeah.
Because they are allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And even Dionysus, who's the god of party, right? The god of festivities, like he's all like boopy doo in the dumps because he's like, oh, well, I want to feel more important.
Yeah.
You know, type deal. And they're like, what are you talking about? You have the best job, like, of the gods, you know, type deal.
Yeah.
So,
you want more responsibility, though.
There's kind of this thing where it's just like you can be this immortal god where you don't have to worry about death and you can live, you know, the way you want. Like, you know, you don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about all the stressors that humans live with. But at the same time, they're perpetually just like they have their spurts of happiness, but that's usually when they're just like messing around with us humans.
Sure.
You know, whereas just like the humans are ultimately envied by the gods because they know that their life is finite and that they can sort of seek these more traditional like values of happiness kind of thing.
I think that's mostly Dionysus's plight, I think, because like Hera and Poseidon were just big chillin'. Like Hera had like set herself up.
Well,
with all the tongues.
Hera's still pissed off though because like Zeus will like that was why she had the whole thing
bee
of
farm,
bees.
the
Yeah,
bees.
her bee farm because
Zeus would go down to Earth and fuck someone to make another demigod. Yeah, so that was Dionysus's mom. Hera turned her into a bee, and like she just had like all sorts of bees.
Yeah, she had a whole bee enclave.
Yeah,
you know, because she would turn whatever human chick that laid with Zeus, which her punishment was to turn them into a fucking bee, which that sucks.
Yeah,
for that person.
That's actually so.
Talk about going from super like, oh, I just banged a god to now I'm a goddamn
fucking bee, dude.
Buzzy bee.
I forget the character's name that was in the underworld. Oh, Kaos. Kaos was the
boat guy?
No, Kaos was the trans in the underworld, the Amazon.
Oh,
the trans Amazon.
Yeah.
The original mythology story of Kaos is that Kaos was originally a woman, and I think it was Poseidon that she fucked or he fucked her. So there was fucking, I think it was Poseidon. It was one of the gods, and she didn't want to get pregnant by a god. So Poseidon was like, all right, you're a man now. And became Kaos was his male name. He had a different name when he was female. But yeah, that was the solution to them not getting pregnant.
Man, if only we had that today.
Like bloop,
people would be lining up for that. Finger snap.
Right. To switch genders.
Yeah, for transition right there.
I thought to get out of being pregnant. Because that was I believe that is the story. Is like
it's one way to do it too.
Or maybe maybe he didn't want, like someone didn't want them to be pregnant, so it was like, all right, well, you can't be pregnant anymore because you're a man.
Congratulations, you're a dude now.
You're Kate. Like, what do you want your name to be? I don't remember if it was their idea or not, actually. But yeah, so there are trans figures in mythology. So it was cool how they made that, like, work that into the story.
Yeah, they did work that. They worked that in
with the Amazons and shit.
You see that early on, which is really cool.
Yeah, and they don't even like point, like they're not even like,
yeah,
it's just like
yeah, they show they show like a gladiatorial type of, you know, match, right?
Yeah,
like the whole games thing, which is where the Romans got it, you know.
Yeah,
that whole thing. I mean, the Romans,
those fuckers stole everything.
They stole everything from the Greeks.
Yeah, those fuckers. Yeah, those fucking Romans, dude. They just really roamed it up. Dude.
Who would you rather be in Chaos, a god or a human?
I'd definitely go God. What the fuck you mean?
I don't know, man.
I would. I guess it depends on the guy.
That's a long time.
God. Depends on the god, right?
Because there's a lot of gods too. You could be like a lot
of fucking.
You could be like, hey man, you're the god of soft fabric.
Right. That'd be kind of chill. I think
that would be pretty chill.
The big thing is like, it's like the immortal thing.
You fucking god of feet.
That was one thing.
You're the god of feet and pee-pee.
The departure in Chaos. Oh, I'd hate to be the god of pee-pee. The departure in Chaos is that they were like Zeus used to be human, which isn't true, right? Or according to the mythology.
Yeah.
But that like gods are just, there are all sorts of immortal beings, and like the group on Olympus are called gods, right? The group that preceded them were called Titans, and Titan gave birth to Zeus and all his kids and all that shit. And there's gods versus Titans, but
Zeus
really
killed his dad.
When I was a kid, I thought Titans were like these massive creatures, but no, they're just immortal beings, right?
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of immortal beings that aren't gods. I don't know if I were to be the god of something. I don't know. Nipples? I don't know.
The god of breast milk.
That's the thing.
You just walk around and you could just
I did not say breast milk.
I
don't want to be the god of nipples anymore. I don't want to be the god of nipples.
Just point and you got fucking just wet shirts all around you.
Would it work with animals too? I don't want to be the god of nipples anymore. I retract that.
I mean, it would be kind of cool, so you got, Achilles, right? Like he was blessed by the gods in a way, right?
Right.
Like,
I think
like
his mom was.
It was his mom, right? And then she dipped him into the river Styx, and
yeah, but I think his mom was either like I think he was a demigod or something. Like his mom, I think his mom was mortal and his dad was something like that.
One of his parents was, above a human level.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, demigod would be tight.
Yeah, that sounds like a nice middle ground. Seems nice. Seems pretty rad.
Well, there's plenty of demigods that, like, get that god status. So, like, it's cool to have that option,
Yeah.
I don't want to be like fucking Kratos or something like that. It's just Kratos. Where I'm just destroying fucking everything.
I feel like billionaires nowadays try to be fucking demigods in a way.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
They got all those small dicks.
Well, they say that the majority of and by they say, I mean, the internet tells me that, which I don't think it's too far off. Billionaires are like an unhappy stock of people.
Poor babies.
Oh
no.
But it makes.
Are you a cancer on the world? Oh.
But it makes sense.
That they're sad. They should just stop being billionaires.
To go back
being a billionaire is a choice.
Look,
you don't just accidentally. No, listen. You don't just accidentally become a billionaire. You have 1,000 millions. You don't just accidentally do that.
You got to Gary Vaynerchuk it, and just hustle, man, every day.
There is no mathematical way to become a billionaire without being a piece of shit.
Well, I mean,
there just isn't. There just isn't.
They're like, kind of going back to Chaos with this, right? Like you see Orpheus traveling through the desert, and at one point in time, one of his tests is he has to walk through this endless desert, and he has this thirst that even when he sees water, it can't be quenched.
Sure,
right? Like it turns to sand. Type deal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a billionaire, right? With all the money that they make.
Why do you keep on equating things to billionaires? With all the money they make,
it's not enough. It turns to fucking, gook in their mouth.
I mean, it's more like it doesn't turn to gook in their mouth.
Their green money turns to fucking just like gack in their mouth.
Look, there's like financial freedom, there's wealthy, and then there's fucking billionaires. Like you're 3 steps above. You're 3 steps above not needing to worry about anything in your life. You know what I mean? Like, anyway. If you were a god, what would you be the god of?
I would try to be a god that like had. You want to have obviously Dionysus, he's the super fun party guy.
Sure.
But like he obviously is unfulfilled, minus his like quick scenes of butt sex in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But like
he got fulfilled.
Yeah. Spoiler. But yeah, I don't know. I would want to be like a god that like had some cool, like had like a couple of sets of like cool responsibility, but generally speaking, like I could chill,
Sure.
Like Poseidon's got a pretty big gig.
Okay, put something out there. Give us a specific. What you want to be the god of?
Probably, I would probably want to be the god of
fingernails.
Facial hair.
Facial hair. Someone pisses you off, you're like, You just like grow a beard.
Buy beard.
No, it just sucks back up in him.
No, I'd probably be like the god of, I don't know, like maybe the god of like agriculture or something like that. Like, hey,
who that is.
Hey, I think there is.
Yeah, I think that's Persephone's mom.
Yeah, I mean that seems like it could be chill. It's like, hey, you guys obviously kind of need me because you want to eat.
I'd be the god of cholesterol.
Cholesterol. Oh, look, there's no need to shame yourself right now.
I didn't say hi. What the fuck? I could be the god of low crust. No, I'm pretty sure it's like, what the fuck?
I'd be the god of cholesterol within an appropriate range for my height, weight,
it's
and age.
It's a whole spectrum. I just said cholesterol. I didn't say anything else. Pretty sure Persephone. So Persephone was like kidnapped or some shit and taken to the underworld to be Hades' wife, or like eventually becomes Hades' wife or something like that. The goddess of like the plants, agriculture, or whatever. When she was kidnapped or when she was taken, she got really sad, and the whole world, like all the plants died and everything got cold. So then, like they made a deal and said Persephone can come back for like 6 months of the year, and that's why we have seasons.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. A fun god would be the god of like vitality.
Vitality.
Yeah,
just
you're
makes
essentially like the boner pill god.
Sure.
So if you
that's
could,
a thing too, I think.
Well, I mean, you could
Aphrodite.
Yeah, Aphrodite, right? So that would be fun because like if you wanted to get like
you want to be the boner god.
If you wanted to get weird with someone, you'd be like flaccid ween.
It's because I said cholesterol and you were thinking about blood flow. That's exactly what happened. All right, so what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think on the whole show of Chaos? Do you recommend people watch it? Is it worth watching? Yeah, that's the question of the show. Chaos. Is it worth watching? Yes or no in 2025?
Absolutely worth watching.
You're giving it a thumbs up on the
giving it a thumbs up.
I would say it is a great show. I don't know if it's worth watching.
What in the ever loving?
I don't think so. Dude, it got canceled. It got canceled in the middle of the story. Love the show. Love Jeff Goldblum. If you love shit like that, you will enjoy it.
What if
but
you're
you'll
sick?
end up being
what
upset.
if you're sick and you have to stay home?
We got to get going. Yeah, if you're sick, sure. That's what I'm saying. If you're staying home all day, maybe watch it. You will not be disappointed and you won't regret it, but it is annoying because the show isn't over. If it was a complete show, I would give it a thumbs up. But for now, you got an up? You got an up?
I got an up. I'm giving it an up.
All right. Well, we're the Thunderbutts Comedy Podcast.
That's right. 2 butts.
2 butts. 2
4 cheeks.
2 butts, 4 cheeks.
4 cheeks.
And we will catch y'all on the flip side for episode 2. Comment below on what show we should do next.
Yes.
Every season we do a different.
We do a different theme every so
if you
series.
have a theme you want to see us do, comment that below as well, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.
All right. Later, haters.
Peace.